Hello friends, welcome back to It's a Ootsy Thing. Today I'm making some food for my daughter-in-law who has had surgery, and I'm going to take her some zucchini bread, and I made a breakfast casserole. Wasn't even thinking about running the camera whenever I was making the breakfast casserole, so I'll do that for another time. But right now I'm going to make some zucchini bread, so come along with me and maybe you'll like to make it as well. I will tell you that the recipe that I have used for years and years and years came from this Recipes from the Heart. This is made by the Church of the Nazarene in Woodward, Oklahoma. And I love a lot of the recipes in here. And I have it highlighted and have this beside it because I know this is the zucchini recipe that I like. So it always turns out, without fail, it always turns out right. We will get started first with 3 eggs that I have beaten, and I will put this recipe at the end of the video so you don't have to worry about writing it down. And then I've got 1 3/4 cup of sugar. Now I'm going to mix this together with my mixer, and I will mute this so that you don't have to listen to the mixer. Now it doesn't require a lot of mix, but it does need to be well incorporated. Now I'm going to add a cup of oil. I'm using coconut oil. I'm trying to get away from all of those seeds oil as best I can. I'm going to mix this again. Now I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of vanilla. And then 2 cups of grated zucchini. This is a good time of the year to buy zucchini. I do this at our local farmer's market because I did not plant that in my garden. And I buy up a bunch of it and just grate it and put it in the freezer. And I'll have it for breads for the winter or even for the summer, cakes, brownies, all kinds of things. So now I've just got that all mixed together, and I'm through with my mixer. Now it does call for 2 tablespoons of grated orange rind. I don't have that, so I'm not going to put it in. Now I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And just give that a little stir. Now I'm going to add a cup of pecans. Stir that in. Now I don't always do this, but sometimes when I'm feeling a little extra, I will add 1 cup of chocolate chips. Okay, now I'm going to add 3 cups of sifted flour. Now some people think that you need to do this all in a separate bowl. You do all your dry ingredients in a separate bowl. I don't. Some days I do, some days I don't. Today I'm not. I actually don't see where it makes a difference. So you do what you want to do. So I'm just going to add a little bit at a time to get all of that mixed together. I love to serve people, and so whenever I know of a friend or a family member having surgery or is down or just because I want to. I love to cook, and so I do this and take to them to show that I care. And that's a great way to let people know that you care, is by taking food. All right, now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt before I stir all of that flour in. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And we have 1/4 of a teaspoon. And we need 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, now I'm going to just stir the rest of that in. It is extremely hot here in Oklahoma, and this really is not the best time to be having your oven on and baking, because it is really making my house hot. I have had the vent on my stove going, but I shut it off to do the video. But I wanted to do this for my daughter-in-law. They do have a food train from the church that they're going to that's bringing them food. But I wanted to do some breakfast food for her and my son and the grandkids. Okay, I believe we've got this all mixed together. Oops, there's just a little bit more flour down there in the bottom. You want to make sure it's all mixed together really good. Now, sometimes I will use my stand mixer and mix this, and it really does make it easier, but I'm kind of on a time crunch, and so I just grabbed the small things to mix it together instead of getting my stand mixer out. I have 2 loaf pans here that I have lined with parchment paper. Now I'm just going to split this batter in 2 equally into each loaf pan. Just even that out. I'm going to take one of these to my daughter-in-law and have one for my husband. I try to do low carb. He's not crazy about it. And I made some low carb zucchini bread the other day using almond flour and stevia, and he did not care for it. Now, it is nothing like this zucchini bread, but I'm able to tolerate it. But he just did not care for it at all. So I told him I would make him some. Now I've got my oven preheated, and it will go in this preheated 350 degree oven. I will bake it 50 to 60 minutes. I will set my timer on 50 minutes, check it, see if it is done all the way through. If so, I'll take it out. If not, I'll add a few more minutes onto it. This recipe is also nice to make if you want to make several and have them in the freezer. That way, when you're ready for some zucchini bread and don't have time to bake it, you just pull it out of the freezer and let it thaw out, and you're good to go. Okay, and into the oven we go. Okay, our bread is done, and we are going to take it out of the oven. I checked it with my, this is one of those testers. Anyway, I don't use a toothpick, I use this. It's kind of hard to see, but anyway. So I will take it out. Look at that. Y'all, this smells wonderful. I wish you could smell it. It's going to be perfect for someone who's just had surgery. So that's going to do it for our episode today and making zucchini bread. I'm glad that you followed along with me today, and I hope that you'll give it a try. Stay tuned, and I will have the recipe posted at the end. We'll see y'all next time.